So welcome to the first episode of Missions and Mimosas, where we're here with Tammy and Kim, and there's over 50 years of nonprofit leadership experience between everybody. And we are not new to the business, but just finally on air. So cheers.
Cheers.
We are here because there's a rumor out there that CEOs never make it in the nonprofit business more than 5 years. And when you look at our area out here, and especially looking with you two, that's just, it blows people's minds, because how can you guys be in the business so long and be so successful in the business out here in this area? And yet there's that statistic out there. And so originally we wanted to make this all about leadership and lessons learned and all of that. And then when we started to talk about it, we realized that actually it's just better to share the real stories, the behind the scenes, the dirty little secrets. So if you listen to Missions and Mimosas, that's what you're going to get. So with that, let's start with introductions.
Should I kick it off?
You shall.
Kick it off. I'm so excited to be here, and I want to mention thank you to BJ Fazeli for hosting our very first Mission in Mimosas and supplying us with mimosas. Cheers.
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 To BJ.
You have to drink when you cheers, you
Yeah,
guys.
sorry. Okay. At 9 in the morning.
Okay.
You have to, or it's bad luck. You have to drink it. So, yeah. Okay, well, I have the honor and pleasure to introduce Tammy Marine, who is a friend, and her last name is easy to say. What I know about Tammy is, well, as a friend, just a kind and loving person who I enjoy your company, but one of those people that I can just call and as you'll see in our future podcasts, bitch, moan, complain, help, I don't know what to do. What do you think I should do? Do you know these people? It's camaraderie. I mean, you can't be in this business for 23 years without having a support team, for sure. So Tammy's been in the nonprofit world for 33 years is what I read.
Yeah, 34 years.
Yep. 20 years with the Habitat for Humanity as the CEO, done an amazing job of leading that team and your board and staff. And I don't think anybody has anything bad to say about Tammy. I think that's the other thing is you're just a kind person. You serve on the Temecula Chamber Board. I think you're the secretary of the chamber.
Not this year, but I've been on that board for about 14 years.
Okay, yeah, so long time serving. And I think you'll find that with nonprofit leaders too, is we serve in multiple ways throughout our community, not because we have to, but because we just like being with like-minded people. What else can I say about you? You also teach a nonprofit class. You're still doing that at MSJC?
I'm not doing that right now, but I did do that during COVID.
Yeah, I remember that because I had employees that took your class. So you're a teacher, but how I really got to know you was as a teacher, an art teacher at Michelle's Place. You introduced an amazing art therapy class for grief and loss, and it was wildly successful at Michelle's Place.
And one of the most rewarding things of my life, actually. So thank you for that opportunity.
Yeah. Well, and then we continued it. You no longer teach that class either, but we've continued it just because it was so good and it was so healing, because loss isn't always about the loss of a person, right? It's the loss of a breast or loss of the life that you once knew. So that's how I got to know you even better, is just you giving that gift to our cancer patients. And so it's been just an honor and a privilege to know you and to lead with you and to work with you.
Thank you.
Tammy
That's
Marie.
beautiful. I appreciate you so much, Kim. And I get the honor to introduce Christy Piatkowski. And I have known Christy for a very long time. She's worked 26 years in the nonprofit sector, working at amazing organizations like Oak Grove and Rancho Damacitas and Orangewood Foundation, and most currently as the Director of Development at Rancho Christian School Foundation and also Mission Hope. And Christy, I've known you for a long time, and I know some of the highs and lows that you've experienced in your life. And as nonprofit leaders, we're here to support each other and lift people up. And I just want to say that I have admired so much how you've maneuvered through some of the challenges that you've faced personally. And you're such an inspiration to all of us, and always so kind, supportive, loving. showing up present to everything that you do. And so it's just an honor to be able to have an opportunity to spend some time with you and introduce you. So thank you for being here.
Yes, well, thank you very much. And last but not least, I have Kim Garish with Michelle's Place, Executive Director of Michelle's Place. I would also like to say that Judy, who's not on here, but she's in the background, had said that we're not to cuss on this podcast.
not gonna
And
happen.
we need a swear jar because you already said the B word. And it wasn't me first. That's all I got to say is yes. I'm so glad you broke the ice with that.
I told her
You
out
learned to
loud.
fill that jar.
Yeah, I don't even know I do it, and that's it's just it's like there's no way that's gonna work out for me.
Well, I know, but we just got to talk, right?
It's just happening.
So with Kim, one of the things I love about your story into the nonprofit is that how you kind of got into the nonprofit was that it was a marketing position for this new little nonprofit organization. And here you get in and all of a sudden you find out, oh my gosh, you need what? A budget?
Yeah.
You need me to raise money.
don't
You
know how to
need
do
what
that.
done?
Right.
And all of a sudden, now you took that little idea, and not only are you in our city, but you are region wide. You are all cancers, and to kind of watch you as a younger professional see how you've done all of that and remained with a sense of humor and so personable. It just, I admire you so much. I want to be little Kim. Little Kim. That's a person, right? Little Kim? I think it is. Yeah. So, but it's just, it has been amazing. The millions of dollars that you've raised. I know that you've been on numerous boards. You did a lot with AFP, especially in the Inland Valley.
Yeah.
And that brought a lot of recognition to them and clout to them. I think that was really important. And so I think the one thing that I admire about both of you ladies is just the way that you support others, not just other professionals, but specifically other women in the business. And so I'm very excited and honored to be a part of this podcast.
Yay.
So now that you've met everybody, let's talk a little bit more about how we got into what we're doing, because as I alluded with you, it doesn't seem like anybody gets into it with the intent to be a CEO of a nonprofit.
Right.
The intent to be a nonprofit. And so why don't we start with you, Tammy? How did you first get into nonprofit?
Well, oddly, when I was in high school and college, I wanted to be an interior designer. That was really my primary
Hey, actually,
focus.
I can see the match now. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
But when my family actually experienced a natural disaster, and so in the city we lived in Drake, Colorado, we had a flash flood where hundreds of people were killed and thousands of people lost their homes. And just that community coming together of supporting each other through that crazy time was just kind of a catalyst for wanting to do something different. So I promised myself I would work for the Red Cross at that point in time, and that didn't exactly work out, but instead got into the profession of just helping others and feeling that sense of connectivity with people. The relationship building is really what motivates me, but also just feeling like you're contributing to making the world a better place. And so that's kind of been my catalyst for coming into nonprofit work.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay. And what about you, Kim?
Well, like you alluded to, it was purely by accident because my background was advertising and marketing out of San Diego, and I worked for the Temecula Valley Wine Growers Association when I first got here, doing some marketing for them. And one of my mentors, Linda Kassan, was the executive director of the wine growers, and as it was very part-time. And so when I saw this part-time job for marketing for a women's breast cancer resource center, I thought, fun. I'll do that too.
Why not?
It's only 20 hours a week. How easy. See, they laugh because they know that's a trick.
Yeah, the eyes got wide. Yeah.
So now, now I know. But the reality was they just didn't have money. They got a small family foundation grant, and they were able to hire someone because they knew they needed leadership in the organization or it was going to kind of fade away. And so, once you get into it, it's like Tammy said, I met the family of Michelle, Bill and Marilyn Watson, our founders, and their family, and to hear them speak of their daughter and the loss and what they went through with Michelle, you just get sucked in and you're like, I can do this. I am the person to do this. And it just motivates you every single day. And then we do have the privilege of seeing change and impact and changing lives. And that's what just motivates you to keep going. So you start this little tiny marketing job, which then every day. It's just something different, something more. It's challenging. You meet amazing people. You see the impact that you're having on cancer patients. You see Bill and Marilyn thanking you and gracious and grateful for continuing their daughter's legacy. Next thing you know, it's 23 freaking years later, and you're still here. You're still motivated for the same by the same reasons and the same things. And so I think that's what happens, and I think that's a very similar story for a lot of people, right? It's the change, it's the story, it's the person. You're just driven, by those external factors, and then once you really get into it and you start meeting people, like-minded people, which is why I'm in the Rotary Club of Temecula. I got some points for that. Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't wear my pin. I think.
Hold on, I do.
Oh, overachiever.
I know. So, but that's, just one of the organizations that I belong to simply for that reason, is just you see change and impact in a different way. I get to do that with cancer patients, but then I can do it in our community a little bit deeper through that organization.
I think that's part of the glue in the nonprofit sector, whether you're working as a staff member or whether you're a board member or a CEO or whatever it might be. It's contagious, and just you get addicted to the high of serving, and it means that you'll do a little bit more than other people do in terms of numbers of hours that you devote to your week. You'll go a little beyond if you have to, whatever it takes. But I do think that's a key component of the nonprofit sector in general. And it also brings together the most amazing people in the community.
Absolutely.
So the people that come and support nonprofit organizations are of that mindset as well. And so it's just such an
Everybody
honor.
needs the drug.
Yeah.
Everybody
yeah,
does.
yeah.
And I think it's, you alluded to the, how is it that we're all here? There's so many nonprofit leaders in our community specifically that have been here for a long time.
Yep.
And it goes back to that, right? Is the community, because the people here, it's just a different place. It's a different space. And we are all one family. I mean, we can all attest to this, right? We could go to 3 meetings in a day, and the chances of us going to, seeing someone we know in 2 of those meetings is pretty good, right? Because they're all, they're our friends, that we would serve with, because we're all very like-minded.
I think that's a really good point too, because you did say that it's community, you can go anywhere, and being from a different community and coming in, it is different around here, but it's not just that everybody's friends. Everybody really does work together.
Yeah.
We really work hard to support each other. We try not to duplicate services. And I think that's a really important thing for the success of the nonprofits in our area and why we're able to accomplish so much for sure. The one thing I wanted to say, because you guys are talking about how you got into it and how it's a drug, I think those need to be taglines, by the way. But, I liked that. But I remember when I was younger in my career, and I would bring in corporations, and sometimes the corporate volunteers would come, and they always wanted to work in the nonprofit because of what you were talking about, because it's like this feel-good thing and this high. But then there's the other side, because inside I always remember whenever they said that, I was just like, oh girl, you don't even know. Because it's the hours, there's so much stress that goes with it. It is just a different monster.
It's not an easy job. It's not an easy occupation by any stretch.
No.
And that's why we have this podcast, because we want to talk about some of those things.
Yep.
And I can't wait to dive into them and just laugh and joke. And this is really, we thank you for joining us, because it will be kind of our therapy, if you will, right? So I'm excited to hang out with you guys and do this.
Join our little therapy session, as you said earlier, little nitty-gritty, dirty stories. So it is going to be exciting. So with that, we definitely want to encourage you guys to chime in. We're going to have regular episodes. Every episode is going to be about different topics. And if you guys have ideas or experiences, be sure to write it in, because you never know. It could be one of the topics that we talk about. You could be a guest on our show.
Yeah, we'd like to have some guests. That would be great.
Yes.
We've plenty of friends to talk to about this, right?
Yes. So here's to Missions and Mimosas, the first episode.
Exciting. Love you girls.
Love you.
Cheers.